They're fast, silent, and extremely lethal. Special Warfare Combat Crewmen are our nation's elite maritime mobility operators. But to join their ranks takes a special breed of warrior. For 37 weeks, SWCC candidates are pushed to their absolute limits, both physically and mentally, to ensure only those with a special mix of character, cognitive, and leadership attributes make the cut. We take you inside the SWCC assessment and selection process and the subsequent training to show you what it takes to become a part of the most exclusive small boat unit in the world. Welcome to SWCC, making an operator. After completing boot camp and Naval Special Warfare preparatory programs, SWCC candidates prepare to begin Alpha Phase, known as the selection phase at the SWCC Training Center.
Alpha Phase consists of selecting and assessing candidates based off competence, character, and leadership attributes.
The morning kicks off with a uniform inspection.
As a candidate, for the first day of initial training in Alpha Phase, you can expect your nerves to be high, adrenaline to be pumping, and your blood pressure to be out the roof.
9, 8, 7, 6.
The smallest out-of-place thread is corrected by instructors.
6! Just the deck!
The standards are extremely high. Things will only get more difficult from here, making this the phase of training with the highest attrition rate. Only roughly 35% of candidates will make it to graduation.
We don't care who you are, we don't care where you're from, we care about what you bring to the table and what you bring to this training center.
Without a moment to catch their breath, candidates are rushed to their barracks for room inspections.
Hurry up, move with the purpose, hurry up, move with the purpose, hurry up, move with the purpose, hurry up. You have 30 seconds to get in your room, open up your lockers, be standing by where you're at right now, go. Go, go.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Have you ever lived alone? It shows.
I've already inspected about 5 rooms. This is the worst one I've seen so far.
How much time did you guys spend on your rooms? Oh, we did! No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
They just came in. They're very meticulous about how they looked at our stuff. If you put in the time to clean it, you passed. If not, you failed.
7, down, 8, down, 9, down.
Once we're done assessing you physically, we're going to check your barracks rooms. Ensuring that you guys can maintain a nice, clean, tidy space shows that you have the character abilities to be professionals in cleaning your rooms and making your beds and folding your sheets.
Push-ups, ready, ready. Down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, down 5, down 6, down 7, down 8.
The inspection is followed by a run to the beach, where the candidates will begin a grueling 3-hour training session with their instructors.
So this is one day for first phase of SWCC training. Guys have to show up physically, you know, above what the minimum standard is, but more than anything, they also have to be mentally ready.
Putting the students in a state of being uncomfortable, physical stress, a little mental stress as well, seeing if they can push through it and be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Whoa, bro, you know what that means? That means drag your face in the sand. Hoo-yah, head down.
I'm wet, sandy, cold. I didn't expect not to be that. But we're just out here having fun.
As sandy as you can be, that's how I want you.
It's a dream. I love every second of it. Embrace the pain. Booyah.
Booyah!
This isn't YMCA summer camp. SWCC schoolhouse selection. Act like you want to be here. Test some physical grit.
Great. 1 month face to
We're in the first day, and essentially we're testing their grit and whether or not they're willing to look past their own pain and suffering that they're going through right now to put out for the team. Oh yeah, this is awful for them. But they're working through it, 1 foot in front of the other. Keep moving forward.
1, 2.
High intensity, quick moving, doesn't stop. Wet and sandy, cold, uncomfortable, sandpaper all over your body.
Just makes everything 10 times harder. Legs hurt. It's the work. The sand works your legs.
I'm pretty tired. Legs are smoked.
Every second of the assessment and selection is done for a reason. The instructors are looking for more than physical grit. They are evaluating candidates for integrity, honor, selflessness, and teamwork. Candidates must push through the pain to prove themselves worthy of continuing.
Down.
1.
From the beach, candidates run back to base for a long, cold swim into Coronado Bay. As the temperatures drop and the rain pours down, they must show their instructors they're willing to push through adversity to accomplish the task at hand.
SWCCs operate in the water, in the ocean, in a very unforgiving environment. We put them through evolution after evolution in the water. We stress their bodies to their limits. This helps them understand how to stay calm and work in this environment.
After nearly 3 hours in the frigid water, they head back to the grinder for their first taste of Hauser PT.
All the way down. Up.
So this is our Hauser PT right here. The objective, as you can see, is communication and team ability.
We pretty much pick up this rope as a group. We pick it up all together and we do everything. Lunges, from squats to presses to everything. It's pretty damn heavy.
That's 6. 4. You're good, you're good, you're good. 5.
Take a bunch of ropes, tie them up, make them heavy, make them wet, and then you have a good time.
It's not the line that you have, it's your mindset. It's you unwilling to push past your pain and suffering. It's you that do not belong. It is evident that some of you do not belong here through your performance today. Start holding each other accountable, or this next 7 weeks is going to go much, much worse.
Up, 3, down, down, up, 4, down, down, up.
A little tired. Tired for sure.
Sore.
Yeah.
Very sore. Like everything's just tight, cramping up.
Yeah, ready to attack it though.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to kid myself and say it's gonna be easy, so kind of know it's coming.
Yeah, we know it's gonna be hard, but it's just one of those things, you know, you just work hard enough to get here, so you just don't want to stop. Can't stop.
As they move through alpha phase, candidates must pass additional performance tests, which prove to be difficult for the sore and exhausted class.
What they're conducting right now is a student fitness test. They know coming in, this is that baseline, what they need to pass to continue on in the training pipeline.
Open up this rug, please. I can already tell it's already going to be a wrap.
There should be zero sand.
This is what's going to save your life in the event that you need to have some type of flotation. Do you think, would you entrust that right now?
Negative.
Absolutely not.
Did you leave this in there after the con swim yesterday?
Yes, he did.
And so you
Keep
didn't
going.
even look at this after at all?
Negative.
Zero.
Was it rust here yesterday?
A SWCC operator must keep their equipment in good working order at all times. If a candidate fails to do this during training, the whole class pays for their mistake.
Hey, maybe if you went all the way down to one remediation, you would actually pass the SFC.
You know, we don't care about where you come from, we just hold that standard. And here they're gonna learn exactly what that standard is. There's attention to detail and doing everything correctly how they were taught, you know, since they've joined the Navy. And now they're putting it all to the test.
Change! The standard does not change!
Here at the SWCC Training Center in Alpha Phase, we're well versed in high-risk evolutions and we understand everything that we do here is high risk. We put candidate safety first and we ensure that we test the mental and physical grit of each candidate within our special parameters that we have here at the training center.
Some days are composed of physical evolutions throughout the entire day. Other days are composed of physical evolutions either in the morning or afternoon, and then the other half of the day is composed of academics.
Yeah, mental also, you gotta learn. There's information being put out, and it's very much a lot of this is see it, do it, teach it. So you really gotta kind of pick stuff up fast. Like, you know, I hadn't used long division since I was in high school. You know, I had calculators for, you know, every other math course, and back to the basics here, I had to brush up on my own math skills.
It takes a strong swimmer to make it through alpha phase. The candidates will spend much of their time in the water, becoming experts at water survival and water rescue.
I would say 90% of the time, SWCCs are operating on the water in open seas. Anything could happen out there. A boat could go down, someone could get shot, blown off a boat. That SWCC operator needs to be comfortable with jumping out in that water and going to rescue somebody, or swimming ashore if need be.
The SWCC pipeline has an attrition rate of roughly 65%. As a voluntary program, candidates have the right to drop on request, or DOR, and disenroll from training at any time.
This is the first drop for this class. Yeah, so he had started his water rescue attempt, and once he got down to his victim, started towing his victim, he elected to DOR, drop on request.
It's not easy. You gotta train hard, you gotta have the right mindset and some maturity.
Definitely not worth it. I'll tell you that right now. It's not worth it. Not worth quitting. It sucks.
Once they DOR, former candidates are given the opportunity to pursue other Navy jobs.
This job's not for everybody at the end of the day, so if they decide that it's not for them, more power to them, and I hope they find something down the road outside of SWCC.
Just realize, like, this is the stuff that happens when you deploy, right? It doesn't always go cookie cutter perfect. It's not always what you think is going to happen, but you need to be prepared. That's why we give you guys this course. So with that, we're going to go ahead and kick off, and we'll start with TCCC, which stands for Tactical Combat Casualty Care.
The last week, week 7, we'll go into some of the more specifics of core SWCC skill learning. One of them being TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care. We do operate with medics and or special operations combat medics. However, we also operate in small teams, and because of the nature of our job, boats may not be close in proximity to each other. So all the operators need a baseline knowledge of combat casualty care.
Mechanism of injury, gunshot wound to his left chest.
So the reason that we have to teach all the crew members these skills is because A, the medic could be the one that goes down, and B, once again, if he's overwhelmed with multiple patients, we need everyone to be able to respond and to be able to help treat the patients to get them to a higher echelon of care.
One patient equipment.
Right now they're doing boat crew races, paddling through the bay to get to Turner Field, where we'll convince another CRC PT. Boats on shoulders, low carries, basically just doing a whole bunch of boat crew races. The whole point is so the boat crews get on the same page, they start working as a team.
Heavy boat on our shoulders, enjoying a good day in the sun, some water, it's fun.
See a lot of physical exercising throughout the day, throughout the afternoon. We're assessing candidates individually, also as well, how well they can work with the team. Teamwork's a big aspect of the selection process. So the physical movements and moving the boat around was about 280 pounds. To work as a team, it's not that bad. One guy's not putting their weight, the whole team suffers.
The purpose is for us to really pull their character out. In order to do that, we put them through very stressful situations. They're wet, they're cold. We put them through continuous evolutions in order to test their grit and their perseverance. We're looking for candidates that have the skills to be problem solvers, to think intelligently even when they're feeling uncomfortable.
You guys are forgetting where you're at. You better move with the purpose.
The training is physically demanding and intense, but the goal is always to build unit cohesion. Candidates are taught the proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go as a team.
In order for candidates to begin training, they need to be physically fit and ready to train. However, it doesn't matter if you're the fastest swimmer, fastest runner, or you can do 1,000 push-ups. If you're not a good teammate, then you're not going to make it through this program.
You are a healthy down man. Do you understand that?
To complete Alpha phase and begin the next phase of the pipeline, Bravo phase, known as the training phase, the candidates have one last hurdle to overcome.
I don't know if we have what it takes.
A 72-hour crucible event known as the Tour.
You guys haven't even gotten to the fun part yet.
Inside this tent, the 29 remaining candidates from Class 117 prepare for the final crucible event of Alpha Phase. For the next 72 hours, they will push the limits of their mental and physical readiness during what's known as the tour. The tour kicks off with a bang during what's known as the breakout, a challenging evolution where candidates must prove their grit under the added stress of simulated gunfire and smoke grenades.
Move! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
About right now, it's probably a pretty good reality check. They just came off the weekend. They're probably hanging out, you know, nothing too chaotic, and it's almost a slap in the face of physical ability here. So I'd imagine they're pretty tired of it. We're only an hour in, but they're still hating it.
Yeah. Or guess what? We can send you somewhere where you can sandbag, okay? Hey. Yeah. It's not going to be here. I promise you that. I will not allow it. It's my job to make sure it's not allowed, okay? Yeah.
The tour is designed for them to push past what they thought was their limits and find new limits. And that's what makes a great operator, is someone that knows their limits and knows how far they can push past their limits in order to get mission success. So ultimately, mission success for a candidate in the tour is to perform throughout the tour, be there for their teammates, and persevere at the end. The real purpose of the tour is to put candidates in stressful situations. They feel uncomfortable the entire time. They have very little rest. They're sleep deprived. And the only way they can make it through tour is if they're there for their teammates.
Let's go. There you go.
After the breakout, they carry their boats to the beach for surf passage.
Right now, they're about to take these small boats and do what's called surf passage. We're gonna paddle out past the surf, flip the boat, get back in, and paddle back into the beach. We're gonna do that multiple times, just working our way down the beach until the next evolution.
The class continues this process for hours, slowly moving down the beach with their boat crews. The tour focuses heavily on teamwork. If a candidate isn't pulling their weight for their team, instructors will pull them aside for a reality check. If a candidate is willing to take shortcuts to lighten their load at the expense of their teammates, they aren't cut out for this line of work.
You realize every single day you're here is a job interview. Yeah. You're assessed in your tenacity, your mental aptitude, and your physical grit. You realize we have days left on this. We're an hour in.
1 hour in.
The morning continues with boat races up and down the steep sand burns on the beach. After hours of non-stop physical challenges, the candidates get their first short break to eat lunch.
It's just non-stop go. There's not really any breaks. You just kind of put out. I hope to get a hydration break and then turn around and do it again. That's all we've done so far. So we'll see what else they have in store for us.
Just gotta put out and hopefully they'll eventually leave me alone. But it is what it is.
It's gonna be a rough 3 days, I'll tell you that.
Whether you're hydrating, whether you're walking around here, whether you're running, doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, whatever you're doing, you're gonna give 110%. Does that make sense? Yeah!
So we're day one doing the conditioning run.
It's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. We have all day. Let's go, close the gap. Close that gap. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You guys haven't even got to the fun part yet.
During the run, the class gets its first DOR of the tour.
Normally the first 24 hours we'll get roughly 3 to 5, but it's all kind of just dependent on, you know, the class size. So this is definitely not new.
As instructors and staff, we genuinely want all of our candidates to succeed, but it's ultimately their decision. In most cases, the candidates that are willing to stay uncomfortable for their teammates are the teammates that we want. They generally find the will to push through, and that's who we're looking for.
Drive your legs. Drive your legs. Enter the water.
Next comes the dreaded brick tread evolution.
Keep your brick out of the water. Your brick will stay above the water. Keep the brick out of the water. It should not be touching the water.
Yeah, so we're at the CTT, and we're doing brick tread evolution. The purpose of this evolution is to put the students into a stressful situation, basically mentally stressing them out. Some are fish in the water, not gonna have a hard time with it, but a lot of times most of the students are gonna have a very hard time treading water. Are we doing this to test them at treading water? No. Are we doing this to see how good they can tread bricks? No. All this is a mental block that we're trying to see if they're willing to push through in a stressful situation.
Give it all up. You want to give all this work up. Get your ass in. Get in there. You want to give it all up all this time?
What we don't want is guys who are going to go to the team, maybe get into a bad situation, bullets start flying, and that guy wants to run. We don't want that, so we want to kind of cut that out and find those people here and kind of keep them from moving forward in the training pipeline if they're going to be that type of person that's going to run in a stressful situation. So this is the most stress we can basically put on them without actually shooting at them, rockets flying, whatever. You know, it's all it is holding a brick above the water.
You touch the wall again. You touch the wall again, you're done. You understand me? You touch the wall again, you're done.
I think right now 2 students have DOR, so they've taken themselves voluntarily out of the program today.
One straight line, mind up.
You're young. You got a lot of growing, a lot of maturing to do. It's fine. As you mature, as you get some more life experience, you're going to get stronger. Right? You're mentally going to grow. You're going to come back through here. And I think you're crush this thing.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry.
Hey, no hard feelings. It's not the end of the world, right? You're not the first, and you're sure as hell not going to be the last, right?
It's just tough. Some of these guys, honestly, are built a little more muscly, so they sink. But that doesn't really matter. I've seen guys who are built like rocks who can do this, and guys who are built soft who can do this too. So I think it's a mental thing. You know, they don't do this that often, so it's a big gut check the first time they do it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
As night falls, candidates rely on their navigation skills as they row their inflatable boats to a nearby base for more PT.
Okay, it's currently 21:30, night 1 of the tour. Students have been at it since 07 in the morning. We just got done piloting on the NSW ribs over here to MCRD. We're planning on doing some more piloting and other things tonight.
Still sore, a little sandy, and a little cold.
Students have been good. They're starting to come together, work together. They're starting to do the little things right, like moving with a purpose, passing the word, so that I think that they're doing well.
Down! Up! Down!
After they return to the SWCC schoolhouse late that night, the candidates carry their boats to the beach for one of the most challenging evolutions of the tour, surf immersion.
Yeah, so right now they're at probably about hour 16 of the tour, and we are doing what we call water immersion, or a water table, where we are basically just testing their mental fortitude and their ability to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Basically, we want to see if the students can handle the cold and the wet. Being a SWCC operator, you're wet and cold all the time.
Walk forward till I tell you to stop!
They're basically just laying in the surf, and it's kind of slowly lowering their core body temp to a point where that's pretty uncomfortable, and they have to make basically the decision of whether they want to be in this program or not. I mean, honestly, it's just uncomfortable. Probably, I mean, you can just imagine being the coldest that you've probably ever been, and then be that way for, 45 minutes.
Hope your buddy up is having a hard time. Let's go. Stand up, walk forward. Walk forward, let's go.
Yeah, to this point during this table, we've had 2 people not continue training, decided to not continue training.
So medical's going to check you guys out, make sure you're good to go. You feel like you need to see a psych or counselor or anything like that? Good to go.
This is the first of 3 nights, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if they know they're going to quit later to continue.
We see winter classes come through here when it's actually cold, right? We see winter classes come through and do the exact same thing when it's actually cold. It's summertime, the water's warm, the air temp outside's warm right now. We know what you should look like.
Arms up.
Because we do this every year.
Wake up!
People are pretty zonked, pretty tired. I think we're hitting early morning, so yeah, people are kind of losing it a little bit. We got to regather.
As the first night comes to an end, exhaustion sets in for the remaining candidates.
Get under the boat!
I mean, it sucks, but we all knew going into it that it was gonna suck. You're just gonna have to suck it up and make it till Thursday morning.
The worst part of it is just the constant, like all day grind, and you don't know when you're gonna be able to actually settle down for a second unless you're eating. It's been rough, but like it's a cool experience at the same time.
Dawn breaks on a new day as the exhausted candidates face the reality that the tour isn't even halfway over. For some, this is fuel to keep pushing. But for those already having trouble keeping up with the class, it's a wake-up call.
What week are we in? 5. Week 5. It's been 5 weeks. I want you to go through that growth moment to say, you know what? I don't have what it takes right now. And I'm aware of that. But you know what? I'm gonna come back stronger. The next time that I go through this, I'm not gonna do the same stuff that I'm doing here. I'm gonna prove to people that I care. I'm gonna prove to people that I want to be here. Not just you 2 saying it.
I feel fine. My body was just not keeping up. And when you can't keep up anymore, you just can't keep up anymore. So, it is what it is. Don't go in just meeting the standard. You gotta be pretty above the standard. I have no shame. I'm proud of how far I made it. It just didn't work out this time.
We do find that some students just are not physically prepared or mentally prepared as well to carry their own weight, and that causes a safety hazard for the rest of the students in a boat crew.
Another long day of physical training ends on the beach with more surf immersion for the candidates. Luckily, instructors follow this with an opportunity for them to warm up by a fire. Unfortunately, this reward comes with a price, a 2-hour Hauser PT session.
Start working as a team.
Typically, if students do well, then they get to warm up by the fire, but if they don't, then continue on with the Hauser evolution, which lasts up to about 2 hours. So it's a long evolution. Definitely a memorable one too.
Get it off your head! Your whole boat crew is suffering because of you. Your whole class is waiting on you. Get it up. Get it up. Get the line up. 3, 2, 1. Get the line up. Get it up. 3, 2, 1, up. 8. Down. 7. 6. 7. 8. 7. 6.
Another day of brutal, non-stop physical training follows, where candidates must continue to push through their fatigue and soreness to prove themselves worthy.
Get the water! Hurry up! Get the water, get a head count.
Later that night, They're taken into the ocean on small boats to test their navigation and basic seamanship skills.
So what they're doing is they're swimming down, following the line. Once they get down to the bottom of the line, they have a light, the anchor's lit, and they're actually making sure that the anchor is set and it's tight, and we're able to trust that that anchor is going to hold us at this station.
You want to get out?
Booyah!
Too bad.
Booyah!
Yeah, they're tired, but that water keeps them awake.
After a night submerged in cold water, instructors give the candidates a chance to warm up on the beach the following morning.
Hey, this is a good show, bro.
They've been running pretty hard.
Milwaukee.
At this point, you can see they're pretty gassed out.
First two, stand by.
Wet, cold, sandy, sleep deprivated, calorie intake's depleted, but you're proving to yourself that you absolutely have more in the tank. You absolutely have more than what you thought you ever had before. Seaman,
Yeah,
what did you call the oak course? I want you to tell Seaman.
Jungle gym.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You had to play on a jungle gym, hang out with some of your best friends, huh? Not bad.
Sandy jungle gym today.
Sandy jungle gym. Sandy jungle.
The class gets another chance to prove themselves to be a cohesive team as the instructors put them through the final and the longest Hauser PT session of the tour.
Got it all.
Yeah, so Hauser PT is all about teamwork. You know, there is that, you know, we want to make sure that you're tough enough, you have the grit, determination to push through the physicality portion of it, but ultimately what we're looking for is to build, you know, team cohesion. And when you're in that boat crew, working as a boat crew, someone taking charge of that boat crew, disseminating information, and you know, the entire boat crew working as a team.
When boat crews start arguing with one another, it just makes the situation worse for them.
Let's go. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Under. Your arms go under the hawser. Your arms go under the hawser.
Oh my God, get back up.
Why have you not down and have you up?
All right. Up. Now. Two. All right, get it back into a chest carry. 3, 2, 1, up. All right. We're going left foot now. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1.
The exhausted candidates spend the rest of the afternoon and evening swimming laps in the pool, followed by navigation drills in the ocean.
So on this side, we come down, right?
It starts to become apparent that, you know, students are tired, fatigued, and that's where we want them. Some students perform well. Some students are, you know, they start to make some mistakes here and there.
Get in the water.
Honestly, the brain's not doing bad, given the little amount of sleep. But the body, you can definitely tell, is starting to break down.
Hey, shower off, use the hip cleanse, shower off again.
Medical staff keeps a close eye on the candidates throughout the tour, ensuring there are no serious injuries among the class by doing periodic medical checks.
The energy with the class is pretty, the morale's pretty high, so it's easy to have good energy when the morale's high. And with the finish line so close in sight.
Yeah, I think as a class, people starting to come together. And so at this point, you're so tired and you're so hurt that you got the guy to the left and right of you.
No problem. You're good, man. It's last eco. Let's do it.
And I think that's the whole purpose of this tour, is to really just get everyone to work on one level, one unit.
Let's go. I swear we see you're great. Come on. Get up there. Get up there.
It's frustrating because I'm not good at times, but it's a cool experience. I hope that
And I'll always remember it, that's for sure. Still got some more time to go. But
45. How many are left? You lost more than 50%. More than 50%. Let's go. Proof that y'all deserve to be here. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
117. Following their final ruck run, Class 117 is ready to move on from Alpha Phase.
Hey, Class 117 started with 45 men at the beginning of selection. After 5 weeks of physical and mental challenges, more than half of those men have quit. They're gone. They didn't have what it takes to be an unconventional warfighter. But you men do. Be proud of that accomplishment, because many people have tried and far fewer have succeeded in making it to this point. Best of luck to each of you throughout the remainder of your training and on at the teams.
Have these 20 men earned the right to continue in our training program?
Yes, sir.
Tour secure.
Check. Class 117, tour secure.
Candidates who complete the tour change out their white undershirts for brown shirts, a symbol of pride within the assessment and selection pipelines of naval special warfare.
Feels amazing. It's kind of unreal. Honestly, we've been working towards this, all of us, for a long time. A lot of hard work, a lot of effort put in, a lot of literal blood, sweat, and tears, and it's all worth it. Feels great. Just non-stop. I mean, tough. There's no other word to describe it. It's hard through and through, but it's a rewarding experience. You go through with these guys and you build these connections, and it's amazing.
When SWCC candidates graduate the tour, they've only completed 1/3 of our entire pipeline training. They'll move on to the next phase of training. At this point, we still expect them to be physically fit. However, we're testing them more on their performance and their aptitude.
Represent, baby.
Completing the tour is not the end of the SWCC pipeline. The candidates now move into Bravo Phase, known as Training Phase. Bravo Phase is a completely different challenge than Alpha Phase. Gone are the days of nonstop physical intensity. Instead, Bravo Phase instructors act as teachers and mentors while guiding the candidates through the important technical aspects of the job.
Imagine your chest.
From now on, we're going to be dealing with weapons, okay? Small arms, then following up with the heavy weapons, culminating in live fire. Next week at the range of small arms, and after that, heavy weapons up at Camp Pendleton.
SWCCs are trained on heavy weapons and small arms. We train on small arms because not only do we operate our big weapons on our craft, but we also have missions where we may do a small boat interdiction, or we may have to come off the boat. In order to do that, we need to be trained in small arms. Candidates come from all over the world. Some of them may have grown up in a place where they didn't shoot weapons. They start small arms with a very light understanding of weapons, and then we train them to a point where they're tactically moving and shooting at the range live with their teammates.
On my call, you'll draw, take 2 shots, scan, assess, and holster your weapon. Stand by.
As SOF operators, I think that weapons are inherently important to our job. You're not always going to have the heavy weapons on the boats, you're not always going to be on the boats. It's important to have this tool in your toolbox. Yeah, there is a very steep learning curve. It is a lot of information, but just like with any other course of instruction, there's a method to the madness. The curriculum is set up the way that it is for crawl, walk, run. We take our time with the candidates. We work them in depth, spend countless hours with them in order to get them to today we're actually on the range shooting.
You have to start using your brain again. You have to learn different ways to do different things, and that's what makes it all of a sudden difficult in a different way.
We just did a clear and safe, disassemble, assemble, and then clear and then malfunction check, and then clear and safe the weapon. We just did that, and there are certain time limits that we have to meet, and pass the first one.
A SWCC's primary weapons are crew-served heavy weapons such as 50 caliber and M240 machine guns and Mark 19 grenade launchers. To graduate Bravo phase, candidates must become experts on these weapons and learn their functions inside and out.
It's inherent that they need to be comfortable shooting and manipulating these weapons.
While the training and evaluations are still very strict, Bravo phase instructors take their time and walk the candidates through new information, ensuring candidates develop an understanding of the basic skills of the SWCC profession. Failure to perform still results in candidates being set back in training or even removed altogether.
Left, right. All right, so you did the procedures fine, but does it feel good? When you racked it, did that feel like 2 good racks? Okay, so you did do it fine, right? You with 1 click and 2 racks, but that doesn't mean it's always going to work. Like right now, I mean, look at you can come right here and look at your bolt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The instructors are trying to train you, trying to shape you into a good teammate, because most of the time those instructors are going to go back to a team and you may be the gunner on their boat. So they're more focused on training you opposed to beating you down to see if you're tough enough.
During the pipeline, the average SWCC candidate will fire anywhere from 18 to 20,000 rounds.
Okay, so last week we started off with heavy weapons dry fire manipulation in preparation for this week as they get to the teams. Today is the first live fire day that we started here. We're focusing on safe weapon manipulation and also accuracy too. I mean, you finally get to shoot the gun. That's why we joined the Navy, to do stuff like this, and here we are.
Having that amount of firepower at your fingertips, it's incredible. It's exhilarating. It's a rush of adrenaline. It's a lot of fun.
Talk me through jam feed procedure.
Run out of ammo, reloading, rack it back, safety.
No. That's a slap feed.
Oh, here we go.
Bolt stays forward, all right?
Once you finally start shooting these guns and you get out in the boats, it becomes real.
In order to be a SWCC operator, you have to be a jack of all trades. You understand the basic skills of special operations soldiering. However, you have to be a master of your craft.
Yeah, your engine oil, cooler, moving on. No, when you're a SWCC, there's no mechanic out in the boat with you because you are the mechanic out in the boat with you. So you just have to be ready to complete the mission at all costs, which means, you know, fixing your engine, fixing your boat, making sure that everything's greening up and ready to go.
All right, so if your electric priming pump wasn't working, you can come back here and use your manual priming pump.
Here in the schoolhouse, we get very in-depth with every aspect of all the mechanics as far as the boats go. Our main job is to be, you know, masters of our craft and our equipment. If we're out there on a mission on the water and something breaks, something goes wrong, you have to know how to fix everything, because no one's going to come out there and help you.
Shift to neutral, shift to back flush, and then when you rev your throttles up, water will then again be going.
In addition to heavy weapons, a SWCC must be an expert on the water, not only piloting small craft, but also navigating and communicating at sea.
Navigation is a core skill of a SWCC operator. We teach them navigation at the baseline level, and then by the end of training, they're very good navigators. We also utilize state-of-the-art simulators in order to help the candidates get more repetitions before they get on the water, and it prepares them for navigating at night at the high speeds that we travel with our combatant craft.
There's long days of what they call drinking from a fire hose, because it's just a lot of information you need to not only understand, but be able to implement into action. The information doesn't slow down, there's only more.
Comp check. Seaman Chief, I have you, Lima Charlie, help me.
At the end of the day, this job isn't for everyone. Just because you're a physical stud and you can get through the selection portion doesn't mean you're cut out to be on a boat behind a gun. They need to find the correct people.
You have to think and act, and you think ahead all the time. So in my opinion, it's harder.
This is, I have you loud and clear, help me.
Some guys in our class, they just catch on really fast. But there's some guys, like me for example, I have to work on it all the time.
For example, today, this afternoon, we're going to be going out. You're going to be running between 4 different stations on base. At each different station, you're going to be required to program different radios and get comms checks with other instructors on base. So it's just a culminating event of what we learned here in the classroom and now applying it to a more tactical environment.
We operate in remote areas all over the world. It's imperative that our candidates understand the core basics of communication skills, and they know how to talk on military communications gear, and then they move into more advanced gear when they go to the special boat teams.
Instructor, seaman, radio check.
Comms is everything in a mission. And so if you're not able to troubleshoot, if you're not able to correct things on the fly, then you're dead weight. At least with this, at the end of the day, everybody can program a radio, everybody can troubleshoot a radio, everybody can make comms, so that way everybody can contribute to the team.
Instructor, seaman radio check.
Let go.
You in crypto mode?
Yeah.
After 7 weeks, the candidates are ready to move into the final phase of training, Charlie phase, known as the qualification phase. During Charlie phase, candidates learn intermediate seamanship and navigation, waterborne patrolling, and how to execute full mission profiles.
At which time we will set one, either Charlie or Bravo in, and another one either here, depending on traffic.
Obviously a lot of improvement over the last couple of weeks since we've introduced the rock drill. We introduced the op board. You guys would crawl, walk, run all the way through the whole process. Now you guys are here, you're going to go to your teams and you're going to continue to build these skills as you progress in your career, all right? So good job. You guys have obviously showed that you care and that you've worked real hard to get to this point, so I appreciate the hard work. All that's left to do now is prep for tonight, and we're going to go out and we're going to crush it, all right?
Once we pull lines, everything's just like second nature. We already know what to do. The easy part is actually executing the mission. Definitely. I definitely think everyone in this class is prepared.
Charlie phase culminates in one final test, a field training exercise where candidates plan a mission entirely on their own, brief it to their instructors, and then execute it using their knowledge of small craft navigation and piloting, communicating, heavy weapons training, and of course, physical and mental grit. The candidates set out to accomplish their mission, a mock rescue of a prisoner from hostile territory. After reaching their target, the candidates recover the prisoner, who gives them intelligence on the location of enemy forces.
The goal is to have 100% destruction of all VICs and personnel.
Sierra 6-3, this is India 54. We have visual of 4 technicals and 12 armed personnel at the target. All boats, you are cleared hot and all targets to the south.
The exercise is a success. The candidates head back to base.
It's pretty bittersweet for me, I think. I really enjoyed all the people in the schoolhouse, and then learning everything was really good. But I'm ready to get back to a team, start learning like real stuff and putting everything I've learned to work.
Students make one more stop before they graduate. Survival training. SWCCs operate in denied environments all over the world in small teams. It's imperative that they have survival skills in the event they were captured.
So well designed. It's designed to make that operator at the end of the training. That's what this school was made for, and the instructors do a very good job at that.
With 37 weeks of training under their belts, the graduating class consists of only 14 candidates, down from an initial 45 who showed up on the grinder for day 1 of Alpha phase. Upon receiving their SWCC pins, they will have officially completed one of the most difficult assessment and selection pipelines in the U.S. military.
Naval Special Warfare is highly reliable because we reinforce an uncompromising standard which you have met. Then today, we'll pin the SWCC warfare insignia to your chests. Gentlemen, welcome to Naval Special Warfare and to the boat teams. Make us proud. I trust that you will.
When a candidate arrives day one, they may not know it yet, but they've just entered one of the most elite communities in the world.
Feels amazing, you know, we put in a lot of work to just be here, but you got to understand that's the start of our career. You know, it was a job interview, and now we got the job, so it's ready to, you know, get down and dirty and get to work.
Graduation marks the end of the SWCC training pipeline, but only the very beginning of their careers. Upon graduation, the new SWCC operators will be assigned to special boat teams around the country. There, they will operate as experts in clandestine insertion and extraction, utilizing their unique combination of capabilities with weapons, navigation, engineering, parachuting, and special operations tactics. They will spend years honing their skills to ensure the U.S. Navy's continued maritime dominance.
For the graduates here today, they'll look back on this training and they'll realize that every cold night, everything that was hard, every evolution that they went through was completely worth it. If I had the opportunity, if I was in their shoes, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Thanks for watching this video from the U.S. Military Channel. We invite you to like, share, comment, and subscribe today.
Thank you.